Welcome to Creating Disney Magic with Lee Cockerell. Lessons in leadership, management, and customer service. You can create magic too. I'm your host, Jody Mayberry, and I'm here with Lee Cockerell, who perhaps for the first time ever while recording an episode of Creating Disney Magic is wearing a sweater. Must be a little chilly in Florida.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. 40 degrees this morning, about 65 today, so it's perfect.
My goodness, that's a nice summer day where I live.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, well, Lee, I just got back from a cross-country road trip, St. Louis to Seattle. Had a wonderful time. Got to stay in some really neat hotels along the way, see some great sights, and I visited Wyoming and got to mark off the six counties in Wyoming I had not yet been to. So that's quite an accomplishment for me. I have this big map on my wall. I should probably move it here in my office so it's behind me. I have a big map on the wall that I have highlighted in red every county in the United States I've been to. Wyoming became just the second county that I've visited, or the second state where I visited every county. So that was a fun accomplishment for me.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, I want to highlight here before we get going. If you want to take a trip like that, perhaps you could call our friends at Magical Vacation Planner. You can reach them at 407 442 2694. They probably can't hook you up with a road trip across the country with Jody Mayberry, but if you want to go visit Wyoming, they can help you plan a fabulous trip there. All right, Lee, we have a interesting topic this episode sent to us by Evan Markowitz, who was at the Creating Magic Mastermind recently. He sent me a topic that comes from a post that he saw on X, or perhaps you still call it Twitter. I hear it both ways. This comes from John Conrad, who I was not familiar with before I read this, but it starts off by saying the biggest customer service failure of our time isn't bad service. It's companies wasting the most valuable resource you have in this world, time. And he gives examples from hotels, how he has seen them waste people's time. He gives examples from food delivery apps, how they've wasted time. And Lee, I will tell you, I'll do this at the grocery store. If an item was supposed to be on sale and I ring it up and it's not on sale, I think it's going to take at least 5 minutes to get this taken care of. It's not worth my time. I think he's on to something. At the end of his post, he says that the new business model isn't service, it's time attention. Now, I remember a few years ago, we did an episode about how seconds matter at Disney and the great effort Disney puts in to shaving seconds off of wait times as a way to serve guests. So that's what I want to talk about, this idea of time attention being a new service model.
Yeah, I guess I would start out with saying I don't think it's a new service model. It's been a problem for a long time, people being impatient and people in a hurry. And I always tell people, most people have plenty of time. They're just so disorganized that they are not thinking about how to do it, when to do it, what time to do it, and even knowing how to do it. So it's a subject that I'm very familiar with and very interested in because, as you know, I wrote a book called Time Management Magic, and I went to a time management class back in the 1980s, and it changed my whole life, got me organized, got me disciplined, got me focused on the things that are important and the things that are hard to do, which if you don't do the hard things, your life doesn't turn out too good later. And it really taught me how to schedule my priorities in my life, and taught me how to say no. You can't do everything. You got to make choices. And as they say, if you say no, you can say yes to something else. And I like that concept a lot, and I think about it a lot. Everything's not worth your time. Disney work focuses on that. It's incredible. We got a best industrial engineering department in probably the country, some of the best from the best schools, and that's what they do all day is try to figure out how to get things done in a more organized way and in quicker. They're measuring fast food operations, getting on rides, how long the cycling time is. Uh, it never ends. This is a full-time 24/7, 365-day department. They're out there in the parks monitoring what's keeping people from getting on things faster. Is it training? Do we have the right cast member? Do we have the right technology? Do we have the right people in the right roles at that spot that's getting backed up? Yeah, it's a big deal. Of course, at Disney, that's the number one complaint is waiting in line. People don't like to wait in line. On days when we have 60, 70,000 people in the Magic Kingdom, if you're not organized and you don't have great systems for speeding things up, you're going to get complaints. Now, on the other hand, we've gotten lucky over the last many years with the cell phone because now guests have a way to entertain themselves. And we know when you're on your phone, time goes by quick, and especially for the kids too. So that's helped a lot. Distraction. And we try to put distractions in the lines too, videos showing or other things or entertainment to keep people busy, focused on anything other than their watch and because time goes slow when you're in line. And when you're distracted, it goes quick. And just yesterday, or no, yesterday, yeah, yesterday, I went to one of my coffee places, and the line was long, and they were transaction. Their system is terrible. Transaction time. I think the lady had to punch the button like 20 times to get somebody a coffee. And I just saw this line and said, no, I'm not going to stand here. And I would have been in line 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. So I got in my car and drove across the street and gave my money to the person across the street that was handling the line much quicker. And we're all like that. We're all programmed about time these days, traffic, availability, not following up, not getting back to people. I don't know how many reasons people have for being late to work, but there's a book probably full of excuses. And the main one is not having a respect for time. You're not, it's never the clock's fault that you're late to work. It's your fault. And it's not the airline's fault that you don't make the flight on time. It's your fault. And you got to start thinking that when people tell me, well, I was late because of traffic, I said, no, you're late because you left late. You should have left earlier. There's traffic every morning, and there's snow in Chicago every winter, and there's a million other reasons why there's a shortage of parking when you get to the airport. You might have to look longer. So I would say first stop saying time is the problem. Time is not the problem. We all got the same amount of time, and some people manage it. And time is what it is. Time is a system. That's what it is. There was no time before man showed up on earth. There was no, we created this system to, for consistency. We created this system for getting people to the right place at the right time and have less misunderstandings and clarity. That's what time is. It's a man-made system. And we talk about systems all the time, how important they are. Follow systems, procedures, operating guidelines, and rules so that the things can work out well. And time management's about keeping your life under control. It's about managing your life, not your time. Your time happens to just be a piece of that, and you got to pay attention to it. And it's a system that you got to follow. And if you do follow the system and you respect it and you understand all the things that can go wrong, you will all of a sudden find that time works in your favor. In fact, when you start showing up for early things and people start to have a higher trust with you and they respect you more and they start talking about you behind your back that he's never late, he's always on time, he always calls you back, he does what he says he's going to do, that enhances your reputation. So uh, I don't think this is a new thing. I think it's always been a thing. I'm sure uh, back when the farmers had to go out in the morning and their horse was missing, or they hadn't done something they should have done and got started late. And it's we've been hearing about, there's been battles where the army got there late and it didn't go well for the opposing force. So timing's everything, paying attention to time because we're all working on the same system. It's one system for everybody. So it's not like we don't understand it. We understand it when I tell you I'll talk to you at 4 o'clock. We know what that means. And if I'm not on at 4, you're not on 4, it's one of our faults that we didn't make it. And certainly the other thing is that, like you do, and I do, hopefully, is call in advance, say I'm going to be late, and that's fine. And we're respecting time. We get back on track. So anyway, it is a big deal. It can hurt your business. If you don't open on time in the morning, people will go somewhere else. And then you have just taught them that you're not reliable. Therefore, they may not come back because they may like the new place they go to. Don't give people a chance to make decisions about going to the competitor because you couldn't get your door unlocked on time. And it's time's a great thing. It is the thing that we spend more time worrying about than we even do our money, I think. From the moment you wake up in the morning, you're mad because the alarm clock went off and it takes you too long to brush your teeth, and you got to drive the kids and drop them, and the traffic's bad, and it's raining, and the car broke down, and I mean, it consumes our life. But if you can get organized, and I really think you should think about reading my book because it's very simple. It's very quick read, and it's a system that you can put in place to become more credible and for people to start trusting you, and you'll get better results in all parts of your life, including home, work, and wherever you're going. So it's a big deal, and it was a good subject to bring up because everybody's got it. Everybody's suffering from it, and everybody's trying to get better at it.
When you gave a great example, Lee, you went into your coffee shop, the line was too long, you went to the other coffee shop. And I think when things like that happen, businesses never know because you didn't tell them, hey, I'm going to go across the street. You just went across the street. So when there's not enough attention to time bottlenecks for customers, you may have at least lost business for that day, potentially lost business ongoing. With that in mind, Lee, how can we identify the time bottleneck for customers in our business?
Well, certainly is observation, but the main way is ask the your staff what how we're doing. Where do we have a problem? What equipment do we need to speed up? I mean, look at Starbucks right now. That is the major thing they're working on is speed of drive-through, getting your coffee quicker and speed out in the coffee shop because it's one of the major complaints, and their business has dropped dramatically over the last couple of years. And time is one of the things they're more focused on than anything else because we are just become a programmed group of people that the whole world is running at full speed ahead. And so you talk to your customers, you observe your customers, you go out and sit in your operation and watch it. I did at Disney. I'd go out and watch. I'd sit in a chair in the lobby of a hotel and watch check-in and see how long it was taking people and what was going on with the employees back and forth and why, and then ask questions. What do we need to do to speed this up? And if you do that, you will find out, and then you'll know what to do, and then you get it done. And maybe you need another person on staff that morning. Maybe you need to open earlier. There's many things. Maybe you need a new computer system. Maybe your organization's not, the cups are not in the right place, or you're running out of product and it slows everything down. There's many reasons that time gets away from us, and it's solvable, by the way. You're not born disorganized. You become disorganized. And if you want to be not disorganized, you focus on that. That's your new mission in the next few weeks is get yourself a system where you're on time and you're reliable and you're credible and you do what you say you're going to do. It'll help you, which is going to help whatever business you're responsible for. You know.
We did an episode recently about a good leader, a good manager is an auditor. And I didn't even think of time audits in that, but this is something you can audit. How much time does it take to transact with your business in all different ways? When I was a park ranger, we had a large campground. That was one thing I was relentless on is camp camper registration. That if a camper just wants to pull up, get registered, and go to their campsite, they should be able to do so promptly. Now, there may be campers that want to ask questions about the weather, about trails, about wildlife, whatever. Yes, we will serve them too, but not everybody wants to spend 10 minutes checking in at the welcome station. So I think if you focus on wherever your time bottlenecks are, you can crack the problem. And part of it is doing time audits or experiencing things as a customer. Lee has a good story about this, although it's not necessarily time, it's more of a service thing. When Lee was at the Springfield Marriott, he stayed in a room and discovered it had no hot water, which could have been a problem for a long time before Lee discovered it. And I think it's that sort of thing, Lee. Experiencing that hotel as a guest helped you find a problem you may not have known about otherwise.
Absolutely. If you're not out there experiencing your own business, calling the number of your company and seeing how it's handled, how quickly they answer, do they know the answers? 'Cause when you don't know the answer, you're taking up my time. I'm sitting waiting for you to get it. I find out you don't have the information. And by the way, at Disney, every ride that we spend millions on has a number of people per hour that it is designed test track. When my son was running that, they were supposed to be doing 1,700 people an hour. And that's how they, when they're not doing 1,700, they get involved and find out why. Is it taking too long to get the people in the car, put the seatbelt on, the cycling time? Because you got to get it up there, because if you don't get it up to 17, then you get the lines get too long. Then you get complaints. And we do it in quick service too. We want guests to be able to look up at a board and see their order and order quickly and not be confused. Order, I want two number ones, a number three, and a number four. Boom, out. The cashiers need to deal with you in 15 seconds and move on. You can imagine we do 10,000 people for lunch in some of these fast food places. And seconds will make you be at the back of the line and not happy and hungry. So time is everything. Yeah. And when you miss that flight at the Seattle airport, you really have an appreciation for time.
That's the truth. Well, this was a great topic. I'm glad we talked about this on how we can serve customers by saving time. If you want to experience the time management magic course, Lee mentioned the book. We've got a course on it. You can find it at cockerellstore.com, along with every other course and product. Thank you so much, Lee. This was a great conversation. Until next week, go out and create magic for others.